Now at noon, a violent explosion destroys a home in a Long Beach neighborhood, and now firefighters are trying to determine what caused it. Thanks for joining us for the KTLA 5 News at noon. I'm Glenn Walker.
And I'm Lou Parker. One person was injured in that blast that left debris scattered across the neighborhood.
KTLA 5's Lauren Lister live now in Long Beach with new details on the man who was injured. Lauren?
Yeah, Glenn and Lou, we're learning more about the victim. I just spoke to his wife, and she gave us a lot more details. He is in the ICU right now with second and third degree burns. Take a look. You can see what's left of the home they were living in. It is blasted to pieces, and he is battling those burns to much of his body. Take a look. Manny Fabregas is a husband and a dad in his 50s. His wife says he had taken the day off work Monday because he just completed a father-daughter cycling event with his 14-year-old daughter the day before. He was exhausted and sore and was home resting, doing some work around the house when this happened. That explosion rocking the neighborhood on the 2800 block of Gale Avenue yesterday morning about 11 o'clock. Shock and panic in the area in the aftermath. It was caught on security footage as you saw. The blast knocked out power to the entire area for a time. Neighbors rushed to try to help anybody affected by the blast and in the wreckage and the debris. No one was killed. We are told 2 adults and a teenager were in the main house at the time and were okay. Manny, the man who was injured, was rushed to the hospital. His wife said he had been doing chores just before the blast, gardening, and she says she'd asked him to do some laundry.
According to him, he did wash the sheets and threw the sheet in the dryer and walked out of that small little washer room and went to the kitchen, and all of a sudden that thing, the whole house, that something blew up, and then all he remembered was he's being thrown to the small pantry door.
She says he crawled out and somehow got to safety. She says a neighbor jumped in, getting him out as well. First responders were there shortly after. Now, according to a notice posted by the city of Long Beach, this happened in the back house, what's known as an accessory dwelling unit, or ADU. And this notice says it was unpermitted, but the victim's wife says she remembers it being inspected by the city before her family moved in. So I do have calls in the city to check on that. Back out here live, initial reports say it may have been some kind of malfunctioning gas appliance that caused the explosion, but there is not a final word. Long Beach Fire Department is investigating all of this, and we are awaiting word from them. We have calls in there too. Also, the city has been out here this morning. They have been out in the backyard here where the explosion happened, and we'll follow up with them too. There is a GoFundMe set up to help this victim and the family. You can find a link to that on our website, ktla.com. That's the latest live here in Long Beach. I'm Lauren Lister. I'll send it back to you.
All right, thank you, Lauren. Breaking news in downtown L.A. One person is dead and 6 others have been hospitalized after a hazmat incident at the men's central jail. Police received a call this morning about a possible overdose. Turns out the victims were apparently exposed to some sort of white powder. All of those involved were said to be inmates at the jail. Hazmat teams are on the scene decontaminating the area. And we're following developing news from USC, where a group of female students say they are concerned for their safety after a man broke into their home and peeped into windows.
And the students say this is not the first time that he has done this. Kimberly Chang is live in University Park with the story and images of the accused intruder. Hi, Kimberly.
Hi, just a few minutes ago, we saw a DPS officer arrive here at the home again, and he was walking around with some of the residents here. Now, we have been trying to reach out to DPS to get confirmation, but we did get an update from the residents. You'll hear that in just a moment. But according to these students, a person has been detained with a key on him. Now, take a look at video from their security camera overnight. It shows a homeless man walking around the backyard of this home on Menlo Avenue. This is just blocks from the USC campus. The residents are roughly a dozen female students from USC. They live inside of this home. Now, at one point, you can see the man grabbing a broom, then he puts it down, and then he walks up towards the back door steps. That's when the camera stops recording. Now, according to the women, they say that's when he opened the back door and made his way inside their home. They say this is the third time he's been seen on the property. On Saturday, he was seen on their front porch. They called DPS, and they were able to get the man to leave the property, but they say he stayed around the sidewalk. Then around midnight today, 3 of the women were studying at their dining room table when one of them looked up and saw that same man standing by the back door inside their kitchen. They screamed and ran away and called 911. Now, just a short while ago, as I mentioned, we spoke with the students again after seeing that DPS officer walking with them around the house. Take a listen.
They found him up the street with a key on him.
The biggest stump of it all is that the man apparently had a key on his person, and it fits into one of the keys to our house. I don't know which key. That's what they're trying to figure out, but it did fit into one of the doors.
As I mentioned, the students called 911. They say that on Saturday, they also reported the incidents to the university's Department of Public Safety. Now, according to the students, they believe that authorities did not take them seriously enough. LAPD responded early this morning and told KTLA that there was no evidence that a crime was committed. The women say the man did not say anything when he was inside their home. He just stared, and his intentions are unknown. They didn't see him leave because they ran out of the room. Now, back here live, as you can imagine, the students are frightened, and they say that they don't want something worse to happen. They are hoping that authorities will continue to patrol this area more frequently. Reporting live here in University Park, Kimberly Chang, KTLA 5 News.
All right, Kimberly, thank you. UCLA police are issuing a warning about reports that students are being drugged at parties near the campus. Campus police say at least 2 students reported the apparent druggings took place at parties on Gailey Avenue, where many fraternities are located. One of the alleged incidents happened on October 3rd, the other on October 5th. Both students developed symptoms they do not believe were caused by just drinking alcohol or using marijuana. One of the students sought medical treatment at a nearby emergency room. UCLA is investigating both incidents.
More than a dozen states, including California, are suing TikTok, claiming it was deliberately designed to keep young people hooked on the service. The bipartisan group of attorneys general seeks financial penalties against the company. They also mention other features troubling to youth, including beauty filters that promote unrealistic standards, autoplay, and push notifications. In addition, the lawsuits say that the TikTok collects data on kids without notice of parental consent.
Our young people are very much on TikTok's platform, and that is by design. That is because they have been targeted, and TikTok has a business model that seeks to maximize frequency and duration of use.
TikTok denies the accusations. It is the latest headache for the app, which is trying to fend off a U.S. ban slated for January unless it severs ties with its China-based parent company.
Robbed at the racetrack, Dodgers pitcher Walker Buehler reportedly among the victims targeted by a group of thieves at Santa Anita Park. Arcadia police say those criminals struck 3 separate times on the same day late last month, working as a group to steal expensive watches off unsuspecting victims' wrists. The independent media organization Dodgers Nation identified Buehler as one of the victims, reporting that he was robbed of a luxury watch worth of at least $100,000. Police say 2 of the victims didn't even notice until it was too late, but a third was able to confront the robbers and contact security. Arcadia police say 1 person was arrested, and they're asking for any information to help find the other members of that group. Well, the Padres are urging fans to stay classy, San Diego, as the Dodgers head to Petco Park tonight.
KTLA 5's Chip Yost is live in San Diego with a look at some of the tense moments that have the 2 rivals ready for a rowdy NLDS Game 3 tonight. Chip?
Yeah, and you said it, Glenn and Lou. Yeah, this is a rivalry, so things got a little chippy, a little tense during game 2, but it's kind of what you expect in a rivalry. But maybe, yeah, they did go a little overboard in some respects, as you'll see in a moment. Let's talk about game 2, though. Unfortunately, it was a forgettable game for the Dodgers as the Padres hit home run after home run after home run. And then we also had some of those ugly incidents with fans throwing things on the field. Some of the fans and the Padres players were going after each other verbally, and then at some point, some of the fans in the stands at Dodger Stadium started throwing things on the field. That caused a delay of game. And then there was this incident. Let's play some video of it. You alluded to it last hour. This is an incident involving Padres star Manny